Good Monday. Feliz lunes, I think. How's it going, peeps? How's it going, YouTube? How's the audio? If it ain't Prime Minister Blackface. Still no sound, huh? Let me fix that. Oh, now there's sound? All right, cool. We're going to do some audio checking here to see if my YouTube levels are good. Let's see what playback is up to, or whoever is on my YouTube feed. Let's
Hey, Tony Gaston's here. Now I want to talk to you about why are your leaders divorcing? And
let's pull up a video to see if the audio is pretty good.
So I think you're very attractive.
Oh no, MTR has a video out. This is not a good look. It's the lady from the Pineapple Show. For some reason, she doesn't look this good. She looks a lot better on her own show. I wonder what happened. She's looking a little dusty on this one. What do you guys think? Let me see here. Let me know if the audio is showing up.
I am single.
You are single.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I'm just focusing on work right now.
So you wouldn't have time to put a lady in your life?
Not the way I would want to.
What's that way? What's the way you want to?
I would want to be able to make her a priority. I don't think I can do that right now.
So you're not scared of like missing out on the right girl? Let's say you meet me today and you think I'm the right girl and you're not gonna
How are you? I was a bit worried, but I noticed you've live streamed more recently and missed it. Just last time I saw you, you were Elden Ring streaming. Yeah, just have a lot going on. Got some hobbies in the back end. Another channel I'm trying to actually set up right now with me and my best friend. A couple of failed business endeavors, the likes of which I'll be probably posting on the channel about. But how's the audio?
talk to me because you don't have a lot of time like to meet me, so you're not gonna talk to me at all?
What?
Great question, Melly. But you got to understand that a man who prioritizes his utility in life should not prioritize a woman for a relationship until he has a sustainable foundation and he's on the trajectory of greatness.
But let's be honest though, if she was like a 9, if she was a 9 to him, he would be like, I'll shoot her in. As long as he's single, he would shoot her in. No worries. Glad to see you again. The audio is great. All right, great. Awesome. So we'll get started in a couple. I'll give a couple minutes for some stragglers to hop on in. Let's see. How you doing, Mr. Blackface? It's been a long time. What have you been up to? Let me find this video that we're going to start. I think it's like Feminists, Confront, Pickup. So we're going in blind again. I haven't seen this video. I just thought it was an interesting title. I figured it'd be worth the watch. Says my connection is excellent. Stream is healthy. Stream health is excellent. All right, we'll just get into it. I've been doing great. I was recently baptized at my church, sharing my testimony before the whole congregation. Hey, that's cool, man. Baptism is a very cool milestone. For your information, I'm actually not baptized. I haven't got around to it. I figure when the time is right, it'll reveal itself. I'm out here in Houston. I haven't been baptized. I think I've been saved since 2017 or maybe 2018 when I was 25. 30 now. Yeah, but that's good, man. You got baptized. Hopefully your spiritual journey is on the up and up, and it grows in maturity. It compounds in like interest in a bank. But all right, so I was on YouTube and I saw this video. I figured you guys would want to watch. It's perfectly aligned with my channel. Feminists basically are reacting to pickup art. So I guess to give you guys a background, obviously you guys are going to know what a feminist and a pickup artist is. But when I think of pickup art and when I think of feminism, pickup artistry, at least modern day, a lot of the times the marketing is to get a woman to get the woman that you really want. But oftentimes it's generally used for just having fun with women and, just using women kind of like a glorified Kleenex because a lot of people gravitate towards that to get what they want out of women. So it might have a good aspect to it, but I think a lot of times it's misused. And with feminism, the modern feminism is basically, I'm going to be completely honest. It's complain about first world problems, and you only want equality when it benefits you. And they complain about the patriarchy, but yet they relish and they're basically on the breast of the patriarchy while they complain about the patriarchy. They benefit from chivalry. They benefit from a male nature. They benefit from workplace environment. They benefit from a lot of the laws that are for feminists or for women. They'll never really advocate for men in the mainstream. They don't want equality. They don't want to be, garbage disposers. They don't want to be working in the sewer. They don't want to be electricians. They just want corporate air-conditioned jobs that high-paying men have, which is a small portion of men. That's basically what feminism is. So I'm interested to see these two ideologies clash. Hopefully there will be some articulate pickup artists, and hopefully there'll be some articulate feminists who can, bring some good concepts for the audience that we are to grasp at. All right, let's check this video out.
I'm Vince Kelvin.
I'm Chris Nappy. I'm a dating coach and pickup artist.
I'm known to make men less creepy.
I understand where the opinion's coming from, but I don't really like the language because it's like objectifying women as like a sexual object.
I'm like disgusted. I'm like,
You're not entitled to women's attention.
I think he's just trying to sell a product at the end of the day, you know?
This is crazy.
The OG.
Attract and seduce more beautiful women. Learn how to approach beautiful girls with ease and drive them crazy with attraction.
So we're already kind of at a bad start. I get it's kind of a marketing thing. However, I wouldn't want anybody to be driven crazy over me because it means that you're going to lose control of your mental faculties and your better judgment. And if it comes to getting with me, becoming my wife, I think it's best you would be able to have your wits about you and not be overly emotional and easily manipulative or easily manipulated. So I don't think that's a good idea. But that's kind of how pickup artistry has become. Let's stop for a second.
The art of seduction is critical to your success as a man. Right now, already what I'm seeing is a lot of toxic masculinity. The idea that in order to have worth as a man, you have to have some sort of level of sexual conquest. And that drives from a very fragile ego.
You've been described as the king of makeouts. Is that true?
I love making out, you know?
This is crazy.
Okay, wow, it's a lot of kissing.
Prince Kelvin, the king of
Jeez.
makeouts, hands down, over 230 makeouts last year.
Who's keeping track of makeouts and why?
Like, I wonder if he has trouble feeling his emotions and like he wants that high of making out with girls to feel something in his heart.
All of those makeouts seem consensual, so there isn't much that I can say. If y'all both like it, y'all both do y'all thing.
It's interesting how there's two different opinions amongst the feminists. Some see it, I think rightfully, as it's a little bit fleeting and pleasure-filled, whereas others are like, well, if it's two consenting adults, then you guys should be able to beat each other over the head.
Okay, hold it. Your looks are distracting. You gotta at least say hello if you're gonna pass by with such cool looks.
okay. That kind of would have got me, honestly. I probably would have stopped. But
Yeah, he even got the cage.
like, no.
I really mean it, genuinely. I kind of forgot where I was going and what are your names? Wait, like a civilized hello. A fast one though, because I gotta run.
Okay, notice these women's body language. They do not want to talk to him. It does not matter that he is complimenting them. They're not interested.
How about you just go to a place where people are open to talk to you in the first place? Most people that are walking on the sidewalk are heading somewhere to do something and don't have the time to talk to some creep. There's multiple ways to meet people, but on the sidewalk, as somebody's heading to their job or meeting up with a friend, you're not going to get great results.
It's interesting. I don't think that makes you a creep right off the bat. Now, I understand the time of day, but it's interesting how people who are always so upset at, the religious types who tend to make judgments on others, and they look down at that. However, they're openly calling this guy a creep to his face. I don't think what he's doing at this moment is outright creepy. Telling women that you look good is not creepy at all. But in the feminist bubble, any unwanted attention or any perceived unwanted attention is almost borderline an assault. So it's funny he's getting that offended at such a small interaction. It's almost as if his emotions or his sense of self is very sensitive.
We cannot meet people on the street anymore. What is that? Where are we going if we put restrictions to where you can meet people?
Yeah, then that's funny because feminist socialists, they're very segregative of ideologies and behaviors, but they're supposedly open to all tolerant and inclusive. Okay, so you're not inclusive to people wanting to say hi and make interactions with people on the street. Bigoted, lack of principle, hypocrites.
Think about it.
You can go ahead and continue on to the next clip.
Are you like a bouncer for a club or something? It's Club Melanie. I've been wanting to come into Club Melanie forever. You guys never let me in.
I'm sorry.
All right, now that might be a little bit creepy.
Coming in.
That one was a little bit creepy.
Even if I have to use force. Melanie, today I'm entering your club.
Okay, first of all, if I was her, I probably would have not entertained all of that. To me, it was kind of obvious that she wasn't really trying to talk. So I feel like, you know, you don't have to push it at that point. Yeah, I don't like unconsensual touching. I hate when guys touch me.
You're not entitled to women's attention.
Why do you think she said no thank you so politely?
Because a lot of women are afraid to be aggressive or assertive when stating no. Because again, men have a habit of kind of assaulting us for not being polite enough.
Assaulting you. I wouldn't consider anything that he did assaultive. I think he definitely did get into her space, and that's not necessarily called for. I can agree with that. But as far as assault goes, let's look at the definition of assault, guys, because these people are stupid. They want to change the definition of things to suit their own fragile sense of self. What does it mean to assault? Let's just look it up. And pay attention to this. This is wizardry. This is witchcraft. This is wizardry. This is trickery. People try and pull the wool over your eyes by defacing definitions. Make a physical attack. A physical attack. So she's equating unwanted attention or, you know, getting in your space, which I can agree is not necessarily a good thing, as being physically attacked. Think about it, guys. You're walking down the street and somebody tries to shake your hand. He's attacking me. You're timid. You're pathetic. You're a coward. There's something wrong with you. It doesn't matter what has happened in your past. If someone sees you doing that, it looks stupid. You're not being attacked. So let's just change the words we're using so we can be more truthful in our own communication, as opposed to what she's doing, which is rhetoric. Now, here's the thing. I can agree with her in the sense that you shouldn't be, you know, trying to be like, hey baby, let me Jedi mind trick you into bed. I can agree with that. You shouldn't be touching up on people. He could have definitely did the Kung Fu Feng Shui stance, but he didn't have to touch her. Just because it's weird, it doesn't mean you're being assaulted. You can't, and this is the thing. If women like this are going to continue to act like, if women like this are going to continue to act like they're just as good as men, they're on equal footing with men. Men are not cowards like this. Men are not afraid to walk out. Men are not overly sensitive to people gesturing to them. They're not afraid of being abducted. So first off, the reality of the fact that you can be swept away at any time you go outside at night unsupervised, that makes you inherently unequal to men. So to act like you're not, to act like you are equal to men, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's another issue. The left also changes definitions to fit their agenda. You're right, blackface. Just like how they changed the definition on recession. That's exactly it, dude. Jeez, man. Pickup seduction, complimentary coaching, part 1.
Oh, by the way, something smells real good here. What is it? Is it your hair?
Too much.
It's not your hair. It's right here. Something like right there. Let me see.
Too much.
Normally, when I do that routine, then I go like, but rest assured, I won't bite you because I'm a vegetarian vampire. The most I will do is this, but I'm not going to do it.
I'm like disgusted. I'm like crawling.
Don't do that. Do not invade their personal space without their consent. Don't touch people.
Look at this hall monitor, bro. Look at this. I need to find that lady from Family Guy, the nun who's just poking. Look, I get it. It's not classy. It's a little bit much, right? But I'm going to play devil's advocate. Does she support women who consent to that? Because there are women, if they're attracted to you, one behavior can be creepy, but if you got a chin, if you got a nice chin, if you look like the dude from The Witcher, all bets are off. You can do the creepiest stuff, and your advances will be accepted if she's attracted to you. So I'm saying, like, it's crazy how she's drawing such lines, such arbitrary lines. Yeah, the Mohawk dude does go crazy though.
Without their consent.
Like, he's making it seem like, oh, this is the way you can get girls if you like act like me, but she clearly looks like, obviously, like, irritated. She looks uncomfortable. I feel bad for her, honestly, at this moment.
That's crazy.
It's nice. He's like uplifting like his male community. I mean, that's basically it. I can't really say anything else. Like, it just seems so sleazy.
If they do that every
I can agree. That is a little bit sleazy.
morning, they feel confident. All power to them, to be honest.
No, that's a little bit delusional.
Does that one get approval from you?
I get approval. Minus the, that thing. But everything else, I respect it.
I guess it's cool that you're trying to help people. I think that is very nice and kind from the heart.
Will you be?
It's good that some of the women are actually trying to give him a bone here and respect the fact that he's trying to do something to the male community or his male community. But I would argue that you mindlessly reciting mantras about your wiener, it's probably not going to be the best way to build your self-esteem. Let's see. As rapper Tom McDonald said, there's no such thing as hate speech. There's only speech that you hate. I mean, oftentimes hate speech is apparently not free speech anymore, and that's the way they're trying to make it. But I'm up to being called all types of things because I think all people should be able to express themselves how they want. I mean, with respect to some obvious restrictions, like, just the legal ones. But other than that, like, what's going on is they're just trying to change definitions. This is what they do to Andrew Tate. This is what they do to Andrew Tate's club. Yeah, I think it's funny though how I'm interested to see the other guy. I think the other guy, the dude with the goatee, I think he's on TikTok. I wonder what footage they're gonna show of him. But this chick right here seems pretty agreeable. I mean, I don't really see anything too unagreeable with Brooklyn.
Open to meeting Vince?
Very nice and kind from the heart.
Will you be open to meeting Vince today face to face?
I'm good, thank you.
That's crazy.
Not really. I don't think we'd have a ton in common.
It's funny. In order to be inclusive and in order to be tolerant, you have to look at the other person's perspective in order to truly understand. But for people who champion empathy, they throw it away when they get uncomfortable. And this is the reality of their actions. In reality, they market and they talk a good game about being empathetic and being tolerant. However, they're very bigoted to stuff that offends them. That immediately disqualifies you from safe spaces, from being tolerant, from being a social, equitable person. You are a coward. That's it. Blackface says, that video is titled, What is and is not free speech by the apostate prophet? I'll check it out.
I'm moved, saddened, not really surprised. Surprise!
Surprise.
Hello. Hello, Vince.
It's nice to meet you.
Likewise, you comfortable with touch?
Only the hands.
Only the
Yes,
hands.
yeah.
I think we're in a day and age where you ask first. And yeah, the videos, it's out of context. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
we got to know that it's out of context, meaning we don't see what happened
seen your
before
other
or
videos,
after.
though.
You have.
I have, yes.
As far as some of the dating techniques, it's important to respect each other as people. And I feel like some of the things that you were doing maybe make people uncomfortable, especially as a woman. You don't know when, you know, if I deny this man, if that's gonna be the man that tries to hurt me, you know? So it's not always easy to just tell a guy, hey, you're making me uncomfortable.
I lived in Vegas when I was younger, and I was actually approached by a pickup artist, and he tried to touch me as a 13-year-old.
I come from the place of making men more aware of abundance. A guy's talking to you and he does something that makes you uncomfortable right away because he knows there's more available, he's good with that. So I'm making them gentlemen.
I think it's disgusting, but if I think a lot of men and people out there need help, so I guess it's a good thing that you guys are helping them, but you just gotta, not cross boundaries.
A lot of it is due to a misconception. A lot of people go, oh, that girl is uncomfortable. The girl at the end of the free presentation hired me. She became one of my top trainers. So there's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah, and that is interesting because on one hand, I can say it's not in the best taste, but however, if that's what he's saying, so if one of the girls that they're saying was uncalled for, if it ended up working out for him in the long run, there's an argument to be made. And if women are so empowered, why can't they tell you, hey, I don't feel comfortable? Now let's go down that argument. If you're not comfortable, why can't you say it? Because you're afraid to. Well, are you really equal to men? Because would you have a problem saying that to a female? And I want to push back at that a little bit. Like, you need to put yourself in a situation to where you can make the best decisions and that where you are empowered and where you're not caught on the back foot. Like maybe you got some pepper spray, maybe you got a blade on you, maybe you're carrying a gun, so that you can make sure that you can assert your boundaries if need be at any time. I mean, I thought this was the age of female empowerment, but it's funny that women want to protect. It's like, in a way, their only solution is to browbeat people like him and browbeat the potential creeps. So they want to shame like potential perpetrators and suspects and people who are going to disregard that. But in fact, people who really don't care about what you think, that's the exact type of person to assault you. So it's, if anything, it would be better to empower women, to give them the ability to defend themselves, to get knowledge about making sure they're in the right situation so that they can be protected at all times. But women are not, they're not really about that. Because in all honesty, if feminists are really about that feminist stuff, most women should be armed. And maybe they should have had laws where it made it easier for women to get guns. Even though that would be kind of a lopsided approach. You know, maybe women can get more guns than men can. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, it would really teach potential perpetrators to really think twice about who they're trying to take advantage of, wouldn't it? But no, feminists aren't going to do that because ultimately they want, feminism is a way for the women who are the most narcissistic and sociopathic to climb to the top using feminism in one hand, using equality or patriarchy when it benefits them. But on the other hand, it basically ruins the lives of most women. So of course they're not going to be about empowering all women. All right, new generation. So this is going to be the new generation pickup artistry.
I'm Confidence Chris on TikTok. The reason I think I give good dating advice is because I know what the toxic guy thinks, because I have been that guy.
What's your opinion on feminists?
You know, I like to think I'm a feminist. I f with feminism.
Confidence Chris.
He has to be joking.
It's not what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. Okay. You can schedule a phone call with him for an hour for $250. Okay.
All right, I know this one's gonna be bad because it's a podcast, and men and podcasts don't go well together,
Yeah, it's funny how these women are very judgmental.
to be honest.
As a girl, you be with whoever the you want to be, right? There should be guys in life that you're like, you know, I with you, but realistically, you're not that cool, and I'm down to just fuck. I don't think you should hold back. I honestly don't think you should hold back if you want to fuck a guy because he's hot and he doesn't have anything else going on for him.
I understand where the opinion's coming from, but I don't really like the language because it's like objectifying women as like a sexual object.
It's funny how she's only interested in when it's all emotion, guys. Look at this. I'll run it back for you because I automatically got the context of what he was saying. Ladies, get your D. What does that mean? It means women go and get something from men. So if anybody's being objectified, it's not just the woman, it's both sides. I wonder if she's going to say anything about, I don't like how it objectifies men. I hope she does. Let's see.
Hot, and he doesn't have anything else going on for him.
Language because it's like objectifying women as like a sexual object. Just like I wouldn't talk about a man like that.
All right. I spoke too soon. I'll give her that.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to f somebody just because you want to f them. You don't have to always be looking for a relationship, and that goes for men and women.
This is gonna sound stupid, but kind of look at them as if it was like you're just your homie. You know what I mean? It's just like you're talking to somebody and it's like, okay, like we're just having a regular ass conversation.
Yeah.
Treating them as if you've known them for almost a really long time, not being afraid to just talk to them like they're a normal person. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to.
A friend.
Yes, a friend.
Yeah.
Friend.
Look at her like she's an ugly chick.
Yeah.
You had me until the end. Promoting confidence in people, that's great, but like talk to everybody as if they're a friend. They don't need to be an ugly person to talk to them with kindness and understanding.
Yeah, but you're missing the point. Just because you're offended, that doesn't mean he doesn't have a point. The point is, when you're not attracted to a girl, you treat her like she's not really that big of a deal. But the more attractive she gets, the more uncomfortable you might be with the situation, the more uncomfortable you might be with yourself. And he knows this. The dude knows this. The beta guy, he knows this. When you like a girl, when she's exactly what you want, there's a lot of pressure in the environment when you guys are around each other. But if she's like just a really big girl and you're just not really into her like that, you're going to treat her normally. And that's what he's talking about. So you missed the point, bro.
Like, just get to know people. That's all you have to do at the end of the day.
What would you think if I told you that most of his audience is women?
I can see why. He's attractive.
All right, let's go for our biggest icks for girls. Hygiene.
Okay, one ick I have is when men use the word ick, okay? That's a girl thing. That's for the girls. I'm sorry. Okay.
Interesting. Not inclusive once again.
Continuing.
You know, no one loves a smelly coochie. You're not a bad you just a regular white girl from a small white town.
Did you really just say smelly coochie?
Sorry? The BBL's gotta go. That shelf is looking a little sus. You tell me. Come on.
Okay. I'm personally not really for the BBLs, but if they're making if women want to do that and want to look that way, then it's not really up to like this person or this guy to decide that it's in or out.
Men can't have preferences. Can men have preferences? If he doesn't like butt lifts, if he doesn't like women who have, you know, a peanut butter jelly booty that's from the plastic surgeon, if he's not into that, he can't have that preference now? Is that sexist or something? Come on, gay dude.
I mean, tribal tattoos are out.
If tribal tattoos are out, come on.
And he still has these.
So in the same breath He's going to criticize a dude, knowing that a bunch of men have tribal tattoos. It's a little bit. It doesn't. It's very inconsistent.
Moving on.
Okay, do not give away your access for cheap. It's giving feminists.
You hold your access. You really want a guy to like you a lot, you make it hard.
Yeah.
Think about the feeling you have when you hike a small mountain. You're like, all right, I don't care. But like, think about the feeling you would have if you climbed Mount Everest. Now, imagine the same thing about the way a guy was trying to go after you. If you make it Mount Everest, they're going to appreciate you a lot more.
I see the logic, but I think everyone is different. It's all a case-to-case thing.
I do not agree with that at all.
Neither do I.
I feel like this kind of video is insidious in its impacts, because it's saying to women like, oh, make things harder. But what that message sends to men is, oh, it's not that she isn't interested in me. That no didn't really mean no. That no actually meant try harder. And that's a lot more dangerous of a narrative.
It's funny, like, that can be one area to take it, but the other way to take it is, I can agree with her that it has an insidious thing, but not to what she's saying. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of times the way feminists talk, they almost make women seem as a whole mentally retarded. Like their mental capacity is stunted. They don't have the ability to make their own decisions. They don't have the ability to make good judgment. They don't have the ability to speak up for themselves. They're just infantilized children. But another way to look at it is, it's insidious because you're playing games with someone and you don't find love through manipulation. Not true love. You can get some feigned or false love, but it's not true love. You don't manipulate people into loving you. And that goes both ways. So in that regard, his approach is wrong, but I think he could even word it in a different way. Like, if you have boundaries and people have to respect you, that can be one way to say it. So I can give him somewhat of a benefit of the doubt, but not really, because you're teaching men, hey, if you really want me, you gotta jog and you gotta sweat for it. Like, bro, like, I can be with, but here's the thing. The reality is, a man who you have to treat like that in order to get him to love you, ultimately, he's not even a good catch, because any man who respects himself is going to say, wait a minute, I can get a same situation, the same looks, same personality from somebody who's not going to do that to me, and just go to the next chick. Anyways.
Chris, I think you might just be a little young. I don't know how old you are, but some of these things, like, don't give away your access for cheap, they just feel kind of like you have blinders on and you're only thinking from your point of view, when there's like so many point of views.
Would you be open to meeting Chris today and talking to him?
Sure. I'd give it a shot.
Hey,
nice to meet you.
what's going on?
Hi.
How's it going?
Chris.
Thought you'd be taller.
Thanks. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Hello, short king.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, you give me a hug.
Oh my God.
I know you only saw a handful of the videos, but...
I think I've actually seen your stuff on TikTok. That's why I think I was confused, because I've seen stuff on, like, your other stuff on TikTok that actually gave really solid advice.
I think that's the issue, though, is that, like, a lot of people do see these, like, quick things. They make 1 second judgment, and then they're just like, this guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a problem with the internet.
Would you say that any of my videos, I think you said one of them was insidious?
Not intentionally insidious, but I do think it has the potential to bring the wrong message to the wrong people.
Gotcha.
Which is what I'm saying, like, because, like, I don't think you come from a bad place.
No,
you don't strike me as one of those bad dudes who's like,
Yeah.
red pill. Like,
No,
you're
no,
not
no.
one
That's
of
not
those
my vibe.
guys.
That's not my vibe.
It just seems like there might.
Well, what if he was? Could a man who's quote unquote red pill still make good arguments? I guess she's just saying she just wouldn't like the other guy. She'll just say, I don't want to meet him. I don't want to speak to him. Bro is eccentric. Yeah, the dude with the mohawk is definitely eccentric. I spent 4 hours reading the Bible today. I feel good. Hey, man. Congratulations, man. What did you learn today? Or what verse stood out to you?
Might be a little bit of blinders on in certain areas.
That's fair. I mean, I would agree with that. I feel like I hear a lot of these comments like online, but then just like hearing it from people directly is just a different experience. You're like, that's not what I intended. I think hearing all those different perspectives, like honestly, in a weird way, helps me like think about or make the content I make, because I'm like, what I'm saying is not necessarily what they're picking up, to be honest. Actually, no, that's my new thing, is that I'm trying to like date a girl that's like 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, can you get that like box of Cheerios for me? And then like handle my business too, be like, yeah, that guy's bothering me.
This guy's bothering me. Yeah. Let me get out of here.
All right, let's see. Let's watch another It's Complicated. Let's check it out. I think I might have one that I haven't seen recently. Ladies first. Communication. I think I might have seen some of this. Let's see. Let's run it back.
Every woman wants to be a woman. Not every woman wants to have kids.
I think I've seen this one. I think we watched this one. Yeah. We watched this one already. We watched Ladies First. Communication. Let's see if there's any that I haven't watched, because I tend to watch this guy's videos. Yeah, we're pretty much in the clear. I watch It's Complicated sometimes. Bisexual. Let's see. Let's see if
What is your understanding of the What is your understanding of the history of romantic relationships and how they've evolved?
Honestly, so I think from a long time there was a lot of male-dominant relationships where it comes into the man takes care of the woman stays at home. But over time it has become a woman can do what they want and a man is a support system, as well as still being able to kind of be the muscle of the relationship and being able to support her in her goals, as well as being able to support himself and show that he's like have masculinity still. If that makes sense?
Can you explain in as much detail how the dating game works?
Oh, so I've been off the market for 1.5 years. But the dating game, honestly, anymore is a female-dominated market where the female has a choice. If the female wants it, then the female can get it, and the guy is kind of just chasing. But when it comes to the dating, if the guy has game, style, based on like clothing-wise, as well as good physique.
What's up, Faith? How's it going? Doing all right.
They can dominate the dating game because the female wants what the female eye catches, but as well as the female has a choice, and the guy is kind of hunting.
How does each sex manipulate to get what they want?
I feel like females use their body. I feel like males use their money and like what they can do for a woman.
Yeah, or their status,
and if
for
you're gay,
sure.
I mean, just body, yada, 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 yada.
Makeup is a dominant one for females, for 100%, because they can change their appearance. Males will kind of alter their personality. If they're a douchebag, they will 1,000,000% change up and be like, "Oh, I'm a sweetheart. I'll talk to you all sweet. I'll take
That's
you on
interesting.
dates." The moment they get in a relationship, gone. So, 100% that
That's
way.
interesting.
If men typically have to have looks, money, and status in order to attract lots of beautiful women, how is the man not considered the prize?
Wow, that was mind-blowing. You just mind-blowed me.
Well, I think the way the woman would be considered the prize is because you had to do all that work in order to get said women. So I think that's why historically, or that's why women can make the argument. Whether that's true or not is a different story. Sometimes they say a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like because for them to have that, they have to pull the woman. So you can't pull the woman without all those things. So you're pulling the prize by having those things.
When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
Bitch.
Yeah, the woman.
Golly, man. This is Britney Spears. What is this, 2022, man? Jeez, hold on. Run that back.
When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
The woman.
I'm
Okay,
triggered.
So if the woman is the prize, why even bother going out with a man in the first place?
I don't know.
That's a good
great
question.
The woman.
So who's the prize in a lesbian relationship? Both of them?
Both of them. Yeah. Oh God.
Both be the prize.
So then why aren't they both the prize in a heterosexual relationship?
Because I was about to say men are down here and women are up here.
Okay, so are women equal to men or are women superior to men?
For sure, superior.
Okay, so then why do women go around saying they want equality when they actually want superiority?
It's just for the look. So people just want to be like, oh, I'm gonna go look for this, but they're actually looking
Okay,
for money.
why is it?
Well, at least she's not articulate, but at least she's right. Hard to get a good girl these days. It's really not, man. I think nothing that, for example, if I want to get muscular, I have to work at it. Most people don't. Most people are willing to just settle for not being fat and, not having man breasts. Most men are willing to settle for that. So that's going to happen. Most men are willing to settle for someone who's in their league or maybe a bit below. It is hard. Like just imagine you picture a girl that you really want. And it doesn't have to be someone that you know, but just picture a girl who's attractive. You guys click, she has a nice relationship with God. You have to think about what type of person do you need to become to even attract that in the first place? And then you have to periodically work on that to get there. So in that sense, it is hard. But what you get in the end, it may be worth it because it is a culmination of all the hard work and who you're becoming at the end. And that's just how everything is. Like imagine if I could, study the stock market for the next 300 days and really consistently study at it. And I tell myself, you know what? I'm going to get good at this. What could become of that? It's hard work. A lot of people, when they get off work, and I've done that in the past, I'm a victim to it, or I've made those decisions. I'm not so much a victim, but after you get off work, it's easy to tell yourself, you know what? I deserve to sit on my back and watch TikTok videos. I deserve to play a couple of games of Call of Duty. I deserve to dick around, right? Or you can divert your time and your energy to something productive that if you build it over 100 to 1,000 days, you'll be so successful in something and you don't know what'll come out of it. I think in those regards, women, success, self-development, breakthroughs in your life, it's all about being consistent. And yeah, it is hard because the average person will just, go home after work and lay on their back. No one's going to go to the gym. No one's going to spend the only 2.5 hours they have left away from their kids and, away from work, doing something for themselves. So it's about the right mindset. And yeah, I agree with you. It is hard. I said sometimes they say a whole lot of nothing. It sounded like you thought I said you say a whole lot of nothing. No, I didn't think that. But I didn't know who you were talking about. You were talking about the white dude or... Because I don't think any chick was talking at the time.
Do you know what the definition of chauvinism is? Chauvinism means one sex thinking they're superior to another. Why is it when men think they're superior, we call it chauvinism, but when women think they're superior, we call it feminism?
That's a great question. That's a good question. Got me stumped there.
Yeah.
Are there any...
The reason why that is because the feminist imperative is to seek power at any means necessary. And any collateral damage can just be blamed on the patriarchy. And anyone who brings it up, you're a sexist or you're a misogynist. That is the feminist imperative. Regardless of what they all say, regardless of how they act, that is the actual outcome of feminism. I have biblical worldview of dating. I believe in the sovereignty of God and that he may or may not send me the one. And in the meantime, I shall labor to grow in godliness. Yeah, I can understand that. I guess my perspective is, in the same way I'm doing this YouTube channel, I don't think God necessarily, like, what is free will if, to me, the way I think about free will is, what is the point of being here if I'm just going to do what I'm told? I feel like God gives us the liberty to make decisions on our own, because what is the point of creating something that's just going to do your robotic whim? It's going to be a robot. I think that was one of the reasons why we fell, but also that's a reason why he made us in the first place, because love and free will are tantamount. But free will is a foundation to that. Without free will, there is no love. But free will also comes with the ability to make decisions on your own as an autonomous human being. Now, obviously, there'll be God's influence, there'll be God's counsel and godly counsel, but also I think there's room for you to be able to choose who you want to be with, to work where you want to work, so long as it's within God's, principle. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But that's where the liberty comes in. And as far as, this is the way I think about it. If Paul says in Corinthians that it's better for you to marry than to burn sexually, then that means anybody who doesn't have control over their sexual desire should get married. And if you should get married, God's going to make sure that you do get married. He's going to support and cultivate that future for you. So hopefully you're encouraged by the fact that, if you don't have a problem with keeping your lust in control, I know I don't. But if you don't have a problem keeping your lust in control, then maybe you don't have to focus on marriage. But for the rest of us men out here, a lot of us men in the gym, all this testosterone, I'm not saying that's not who you are, but yeah, I know I'm supposed to get married. I know I'm supposed to get married for sure. I don't have room to type. I don't have the room to type the rest of what I mean. I agree with you. I don't mess. I don't just sit around and wait. Well, that's good, man.
Any double standards in relationships that you can think of that do not exclusively favor women?
Is none.
None. So why
None.
would a man want to be in a relationship when everything's a double standard and it all favors her?
See, if you gonna be in a relationship with any female, make sure she's more bisexual than she is straight.
What is he talking about?
Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean?
She like bitches more than she like niggas.
But I'm saying, what's the benefit in that? Why do you believe
The
that?
benefit in that is, boom, y'all can get bitches together.
Aha.
And you ain't gotta worry about fucking on one pussy and getting bored, cause bitches act like pussy don't get old. Pussy get old.
If so.
Well, he was frank. He was to the point. And this is the problem. And this is the new relationship paradigm. What's coming in the future, I believe, is that the amount of men who are going to be able to manipulate women is going to become less concentrated. Before, it was like 80% of the women want 20% of the men. I think it's going to go somewhere to like 30, 35, because a lot of men are going to be able to trick women and kind of mentally manipulate or emotionally manipulate women to getting what they want out of them. And what he just described is one of those ways that they'll do it. In the same way that socialism and all this stupid social justice crap is a Trojan horse for socialism to come to America, it comes by the way of people being deceived into thinking that they're getting exactly what they want, but in reality, they're going to get the opposite. So you want justice, in fact, you get the opposite. You want peace, in fact, you get war. You want, a clean environment or less energy. You want like less fossil fuels being burned, but you get a Tesla. And what is a Tesla? I remember watching this documentary about how the Tesla, in order for you to get any equivalent of electricity savings out of a Tesla, you have to have driven it for 100,000 miles. but the amount of oil and energy that is consumed to build a Tesla is far surpasses that of a combustion engine. I'm saying oftentimes what is marketed for in the mainstream, people agree to it, but in fact, the results of it is the opposite of what's marketed. And if you knew that in the first place, you would have never wanted it. But that's the point. They make it marketed and they make it marketable and pretty in order to deceive you. And the same way with feminism, it's a way for this new dating that's coming. It's going to be a way for men to manipulate women into thinking that they're getting a good deal, but in fact, they're getting the opposite. Because for women to accept a man cheating or a man having multiple women, you have to inherently have less dignity as a woman and accept a raw deal, an unfair deal as a woman in order to put up with that. But a lot of women who got beat upside the head in their past, or who don't have any daddies, or who have trauma issues that they never dealt with, they're going to fall for that hook, line, and sinker. Go on Fresh and Fit podcast and watch some of the women who are like, oh yeah, I'm fine. If he's cheating, just don't have it around me. What is that going to show to your son or your daughter? Yeah, your dad cheats, but I don't really see it. That's going to teach the daughter, you know what? I shouldn't really respect myself because my mom didn't. So it's going to be a slippery slope to where that's going to become more acceptable. Let's see. Hey, thanks. My definition of free will is spot on. Thanks, Blackface. Of course, there is a matter of me seeking someone for my own initiative, and pray that I may have the spiritual discernment and maturity in finding the one, fully trusting in the Lord's will for me. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Someone who's dating a bisexual, are they more likely to get jealous whenever their lover spends time with their friends?
I feel like you would be insecure if your significant other liked both gender. I don't want to say both genders, and I'm going to get shit on because there's. Okay, I don't think that's fair. I don't know.
Okay, jealousy. I think it gives you more options of who you're going to be jealous of. It's not just
it increases
my girlfriend likes a guy.
I think it increases insecurity.
Is jealousy a turn on or a turn off for you?
Turn on.
I love it. I don't want games in my relationship. I don't want to be jealous. I want to be confident. And know that I love it.
Let me ask you this. What's the difference between protecting your woman and being possessive?
Being fucking possessive.
No.
I mean, isn't there good and bad jealousy?
Yeah, there's controlling and being manipulative.
Right, but that would be, being possessive, and then being protective of your woman is good jealousy. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yes. I do agree.
Have any of you ever experimented sexually with another woman?
Yes.
Okay. Would you ever date a man who's experimented with another man?
No.
Okay. Do you think women are less inclined to support bisexual men as potential dating prospects?
Yes.
Would you have a problem sucking a dick after it's been inside another guy's ass?
Yes, definitely. What the fuck?
No, because...
Well, sorry for the language. But let's unpack that. In the age of being tolerant, right? In the age of being inclusive, women are inherently discriminatory towards homosexual men, inherently, or bisexual men. I've seen it time and time again. Time and time again. That's once again to prove to you guys that this whole feminism equality thing is a farce. Your future spouse will come. Blackface. Yeah, that was strange.
Well, maybe, because, I've done ass to mouth, but, it depends on if they cleaned their ass.
Oh, man.
Can you be more specific?
Well,
You know what's crazy? I never understood if anybody I've ever dated, if I ever heard them talk like this, and I wasn't married with them, immediately disqualified. I don't care if it was 10 years ago. Cancel culture, for me, is real. I'm not going to look it up, but if I find out that you're doing something crazy in your past, it's over. I just pray to God I'm not married with you because I can't divorce you out of that. But I tell you what, yeah, man. By the way, your point about clean energy reminded me. of the fact that a good chunk of the lithium used in electronic car batteries is mined by the child slaves in Africa. Yeah, man. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. The utopian pursuit fueled by lack of principle. It's a feminist. It is the liberal pathos.
If you clean your ass before a scene.
That
right,
men
next
seek
week.
the hottest woman they can afford, while women seek the richest man they can attract.
I'd say generally, yes, that is true.
So don't men want trophy wives while women want sugar daddies?
I'd say that, yeah, guys do like someone that they can probably show off. They care about looks more than money, and the opposite for girls. What do you think, Tim?
I mean, personally, I think personality matters, but girls do chase the money. And I've heard it first person. Like, girls care about money.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I'd say it's like consensual prostitution in a way.
Well, prostitution oftentimes is consensual in the first place. I think well, let's let them finish their thoughts.
Okay, well, why don't we just legalize it if it's already happening?
Maybe because it entice like trafficking and stuff like that. So I'd say there's probably like a bad side if you just call it prostitution. It's more of like a social, like it's accepted socially to say it's dating instead of prostitution.
I feel like
Well, when it comes to prostitution, all that stuff, I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't know. If it was illegal in Israel, then maybe it shouldn't be legal here. I don't have an opinion on it. But as far as whether or not dating is a soft form of prostitution, I think it can divulge into that, and you see that like with like seeking arrangement sites. But it can divulge in the sense that we transactionalize our relationships oftentimes when we're constantly dating, to the point where the person doesn't really matter. We're just looking for a way for us to validate ourselves with the other person, making them a validation object on both sides. So in that way, it can be very transactional, prostitutional in some regards, but not entirely. The main issue with communism, and by the way, capitalism is always a stepping stone to communism, is that it's based around the idea that man is perfectible. Perfectible, I think that says. Yeah, men are inherently flawed. And it's very obvious when you watch pundits or people who are the bastions of this stuff act. They have no principle, and they always bend their principles to get what they want. And the end goal being communism. So people to not have morals, to not have principles, you can't expect any utopia out of that. You're just going to get you're just going to get a moralist, principleless hellscape. And that's what it usually devolves into. Capitalism leaning into communism, I'm interested in what you mean by that. I mean, I see now, we have some elements of capitalism, but I wouldn't consider a central bank capitalist. I wouldn't consider, NAFTA, I wouldn't consider that a capitalist endeavor. I'm not sure what you mean by it. What is your most biggest point of how capitalism leads to communism? I'm open to it. Yeah, give me an argument.
I feel like a woman, when I date a guy that doesn't have a job, doesn't have any type of goals in his life, and I feel like a dude has to have a female that his friends want to fuck. Because if your friends don't want to fuck her, he ain't finna be with her.
So do you think it's generally
That's
true that
weird.
like men are looking for trophy wives and women are looking for sugar daddies?
Yeah, I do.
How is that different than prostitution?
I mean, prostitution is like a business. I feel like, it's business. That's the whole different thing.
Well, how is that different than love that's transactional?
I mean, because I feel like a woman can marry a man, and yeah, she married him because of his money, but eventually she get to grow and learn of him like for who he is, or at least love the kids that he provides for her. But a prostitute, she just in it for a transaction, 5 minutes tops, 10 minute tops, and there you go.
What are your
It's
thoughts
the
on the
intent.
expression "every
I
man
think
pays
that
for sex"?
he didn't. I think he was pretty decent at articulating it, but I think the main point of what he was saying is the intention behind it.
Like when a guy's at a bar and he's buying a girl.
Thoughts on the expression "every man pays for sex"?
Like when a guy's at a bar and he's buying a girl drinks, he's not doing that because he likes you or like knows anything about you. He wants to take you home.
Okay, so do you feel like a guy can't just like genuinely buy you a drink without like
No.
a woman thinking that there's a secret agenda? Or
No, I think a guy can buy you a drink. I think there's some guys that are going out without any wrong intentions. I think there are some people that just want to go out and have a good time and talk to people. I don't think it always means that they want to have sex with you and take you home.
Depends on the person.
if a guy wants to have sex with you eventually, is that necessarily the wrong intentions?
Well, how would I know if he eventually wants to have sex with me?
Well, wouldn't he be talking to you for any other reason other than the fact
I'm
that?
not going to assume that a man.
No, a guy would talk to you other than sex.
Well, no, I'm just saying, isn't that typically why guys approach women? Is if they eventually want to get sex?
I don't agree with that.
I do. Yeah.
That's. I'm naive.
Okay. Do you believe that men initially do really nice things for women because they eventually want sex?
Yes. Off the bat, maybe.
I'd rather pay a prostitute so she leaves when we're done, rather than sit here and put a bunch of money into a chick and then taking her out for nice dinners, buying her shit, and you get the same result in the end anyway. You're still paying for pussy.
One, there's a potential for a future. The other one, there's not. Even in the carnal relationship status, that would still be better than prostitution.
What is the difference between a man being a provider and a sugar daddy?
Sugar daddy pays for your shit.
Yeah, sugar daddy pays for like unnecessary
And
stuff.
a
and
man
like a
being
provider,
a provider
is like stuff you
a hubby
need. Like they care about you. They're giving you things because they care about you.
because they want to provide for you.
It's the social contract is different. One, it's known that there's generally nothing more than just the money provided and the sex given. Whereas with the provider, well, shoot, I hear a lot of stories of women using, in marriage or using, kind of their ability to control access for sex as a weapon to use against men. So the lines are definitely being blurred nowadays.
So do you think it's generally true that men seek trophy wives and women seek sugar daddies?
Definitely.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
It's a business, that's for sure.
Transaction?
Transactional.
Don't a lot of men want trophy wives while a lot of women want sugar daddies?
Yes, yeah.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
I mean, I don't date.
Well, what's the difference between a sugar baby, a prostitute, and a gold digger?
You getting money.
What's the difference between a sugar baby, a prostitute, and a gold digger? The gold digger wins long term. A sugar baby can be thrown away. A prostitute can definitely be thrown away. A gold digger can secure a marriage contract and then, if possible, divorce and get alimony and child support. Whereas the other two can't get either.
A prostitute is someone who's strictly sex for money. A gold
sugar baby can possibly get child support.
digger is strictly trophy wife for money, basically, and
We're gonna speed this up.
baby
I'm
is
gonna speed this up, guys. Let me know if it's too fast.
someone who just gets money and if they have to do a couple things for it, then they do a couple things for it, but it comes with no strings attached, so there's no like
What do they all have in common?
sex.
Sex for resources, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
I guess it is. Ideally, it wouldn't be, but I mean, if women are in for the money. I mean,
Okay, so why?
Let's see if he's gonna bring any other questions up.
They have all of their needs taken care of. That's why I bought it.
Really loves the other person.
Yeah. If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
It's obvious. Prostitutes cannot give you a stable generation of kids.
Exactly. They have all of their needs taken care of.
Yeah, if you're only thinking about your ability to gratify yourself through others by using others as a proxy, but if you actually have a soul and a conscience, you're not just trying to use people. You're trying to be of value to other people.
That's why I bought a dildo and a vibrator.
Why are there so
She's just showing how much she doesn't care, how much she generally only cares about her own gratification.
many women today who say they don't need a man?
Wow, that is a good question. Because there's so many men, quote unquote, tricking and wanting to come out their pockets to buy a woman. So if you after you do that so many times, I would feel like, you know, if they're good with their money and balancing out their careers and stuff like that, they don't need a man after a while.
Yeah, but in reality, when you say you don't need a man and you're making that the forefront of your personality, it's likely that you're projecting or you're compensating for something that you lack. Similarly, how women will wear so much makeup that the skin on their neck is a different color from their face. They're compensating for the fact that they don't feel good enough inside and they have to mask who they are. Similarly, how women aggrandize and say that they are independent. I don't need nobody. You definitely do. You've probably been hurt. That's just a way for you to try and get some power back in your life by proclaiming that about yourself. But we all know it's not true. We need each other.
A lot of women feel like they're more superior than us as a human. So you know what I mean? Like
similarly to the dude in the mohawk saying those weird things like I'm sexy, I'm good, I am this person. It's a way for you to like psych yourself up and to actually think that you'll actually believe it. And the same way women wear makeup so that they think they actually look better than they are in real life. Like a woman who knows deep down she's a 6, she might actually deceive herself for a little bit and be like, yeah, I am an 8, huh? Shoot, you see how the way he'd be looking at me? I am an 8. I mean, even though I got, some push-up bra, even though I got like this fake look and eyeliner and all this contour stuff. Yeah, man, I really am an 8. That's the same way this I don't need nobody. That's the same way. It's a way for people to trick themselves and delude themselves into thinking it's true.
I don't feel that same way though, in my opinion.
Why is it when men think they're superior to women, we call it chauvinism, but when women think they're superior, we call it empowerment?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. I think it's just the way the times has changed. We had a lot of better quality women back in the days when we first started getting that information.
Yes, because women who do that, and that is true. He's right. Women who act like this, who want the benefits of quote unquote equality and still take advantage of chivalry and the traditional man, they are definitely a lower quality woman because they don't feel obligated to reciprocate that
information. But you know, our grandmothers and they're not around a lot of times to even keep that going and teach the women how a quality of a man is better than, you know, what he can actually give you.
So why are so many people asking where have all the good men gone, but nobody's asking where have all the good women gone?
Right, because the good men are sitting at home waiting for a woman to get back while the woman is out in Vegas with the young guy.
Is it possible for a bisexual woman to be submissive with a man but dominant with a woman?
Yes,
Isn't that called a switch?
I think so, yeah.
If men have it easier in society, would you be willing to switch gender roles with a man?
No.
Why not?
No. Pussy is power.
Why are women more likely to switch gender roles with another woman than she would switch gender roles with a man?
Again, pussy
because in reality, we all know that they have a lot of privilege.
is power.
Okay.
I don't know.
So if pussy is power, why are women always talking about how hard it is to be a woman in our society?
Cause dudes ain't shit.
No, it's because it's just the way how a lot of women whine and complain because it does seem that women are so immature sometimes. Some women are so immature. It's very childlike in the same way a kid will cry for ice cream until he gets it. Women are going to cry and complain until they get their way.
I don't know.
Why aren't guys allowed to say that women ain't shit?
Because that's disrespectful. What if
In the same breath.
your mama wasn't shit?
Well, once again, then why is it not equally disrespectful to say that dudes ain't shit? If women talk about equality.
Come on,
You know
sister
what?
girl.
That's a good question.
At least she got thinking.
Well, that women just want double standards instead of equality?
Maybe.
So what advice would you give to the men who don't trust women?
I'd say don't just let one person, don't let one female fuck up your image for the rest of them. You know, just treat the girl accordingly and go based off of what she shows you.
You were in a previous episode of It's Complicated called Sex is a Weapon, and you were the guy who drove a Kia Rio. Yeah. So can you tell me what happened with your girl after the show?
Hey, man, you know what? I told her, look, man, you're not going to be using sex as a weapon no more. So that's a thing of the past, man. Hey, it was a blast, but it was a thing of the past. So, hey, once you got to holding that ass, I told her to hit the gas. Simple as that.
Are you still driving the Kia Rio?
I have a Kia Rio 06, 180,000 miles for the record, still running.
Hey, look, right now it's in the shop, man, but, you know, it'll be back up and running in no time, baby.
All right. Let's see. Socialism is a stepping stone to communism. Oh, you said, yeah, I think I did read that. Yeah, you're right. You said socialism. I read capitalism. My bad. Can be utilized as a Trojan horse to bring forth communism. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably where we're going to end up, guys. You guys got any questions or any final thoughts or any questions? Obviously, it doesn't have to be related to the video. We'll probably wind down here. Let's see. Why is Kevin Samuels in this? Oh, shout out to Kevin Samuels. Yeah, man. Kevin Samuels is dead, man. Crazy. I wonder where he's resting. I wonder where he's gonna be at Judgment Day. Yeah, but I'm winding down. Let's see. What do you think of Black Pill? It's just nihilistic. It's just nihilism. A lot of times nihilism is, in my opinion, it's like, this is a coping mechanism. It's probably a state of being, but it's a double-minded thing because, you know, nothing matters, you know, nothing's ever good, this is going to happen to me. But to me, it's akin to nihilism. And what I think about nihilism is like, you know, there's no good, there's nothing good's going to happen. So why are you smiling? Why do you enjoy stuff? You know, there's no meaning in life, you know, we're all just spinning fleshes of meat around a solar system. We're all so insignificant. So why do things matter to you? This is contradictory. It's just a way to complain. I get it. You can fall into despair, but it's just an emotional, irrational way of thinking. I think you can try and talk sense to people like that. I'd be interested in having a talk with a Black Pill person, just because I think there's convincing or Socratic snapping out that you can do to somebody like that. But sometimes people are very far gone. I've seen people who I just like, all right, well, you're obviously not going to change your mind. So, but I would be interested in talking to a Black Pill person. Like, come on, like, I would say maybe to a critical eye, like a judge or a model agent scout, I would probably be like a 5 to a 6 out of 10 where I'm at right now. I truly believe that if I wanted to, I could get, well, obviously I'm in a relationship now, but if I wasn't, I truly believe that I can get a supermodel. I truly believe that. And she'll be a Christian. She'll be everything I need her to be. And we will have a good relationship because I'll be what she wants. I truly believe that. But the mindset of the Black Pill person is going to say, you know, because I'm a 6, that means I'm only statistically delegated to someone who's a 7.5, no more, or maybe even less than that. And because of makeup, I'm never really going to get to know what she really looks like. So might as well just stop. It's like, dude, like stop being such a baby. We're never going to win. You know, they're bigger than us. They're taller. They're faster. They have a better point average. They're just better. We're never going to win. Okay. Well, you might not win right now, but what can you do about it? It's the same type of mindset of people are like, oh, you know, I'm Black, so I'm never going to get ahead and blah, blah. It's like, dude, like, it's so pathetic. It's pitiful. I sympathize with it because we can all be at those places at certain times of day. Like, you know, oh, I'm albino. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to like me for who I am. People are going to laugh at me. And sometimes people still do. People are going to look at me. So why go to the grocery store? People are just going to look at me like I'm a freaking, like I'm something off of Stranger Things or something. Well, probably not Stranger Things, but people are going to look at me like I'm something off of, I don't know, the powder donuts invaded the earth or something. Like, you know, I just can't, like, I just don't want to go to the grocery store because, yeah, but dude, like, are you going to starve or are you going to suck it up? So to the Black Pillar, are you going to get into a relationship? Because we all gotta get married. We gotta have kids. You have this desire in your heart to want to find somebody. So what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna complain and spiral into despair and be defeated by your own mind because it's really all in your head? Or are you going to get out there and persevere? Because as a man, yeah, I don't accept that behavior out of men. Maybe for women, but even then it's not acceptable. It's very emotional to me. Very emotional and very fleshy. But, you know, we all have our issues. Like sometimes I got issues, you know what I'm saying? So somebody can criticize me, but that's what I think about it. Let's see. Kevin is a W. He was. No, he's dead, man. He dead. How long you'll be streaming? I'm probably going to be wrapping up soon here. But ask some questions if you got any. Rip Kevin. I wonder if he is really resting in peace. I don't think he was saved. But watch that free speech video. I recommend it. What is not free speech. Yeah, I'm gonna save it up right now. Let's see what. Who was it by? Who was it by? Oh, this guy. The guy who's like he's a self-identified psychopath or sociopath or something. Turned Christian or something. He makes a lot of videos about the Muslim faith. Yes, I remember him. I'm gonna check him out. Let's see. I also recommend the sermon by Paul Washer titled "Examine Yourself." That sermon removed my doubts about my salvation. That's good, man. That's good, Blackface, that you don't doubt your salvation. It seems very negative. Yeah, black pill stuff is very negative, man. This may be a different dive to go into, but I would suggest you guys look into dispensationalism. I'm a very weird type of Christian. I don't necessarily go to church. I haven't gone to church in a very, very long time. I've probably read more outside of church, maybe 1,000 times more than I ever would have inside. When it comes to the Bible, I'm a dispensationalist, but that basically means I read the Bible in a specific type of way. I don't have a denomination or anything like that. I tend to disagree with Mr. Washer because I'm not a Calvinist. I'm not a person who believes that if you sin, you know, if you go to the strip club and you die, if you're saved and you go to the strip club, then you're going to go to hell. I don't agree with that. I don't think that the Bible teaches that. But granted, there are a lot of times where the Bible tends to contradict itself. Where Paul will say, you're saved by grace through faith, it is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. But then James will say, faith without works is dead. So how do you have faith without works? Well, Paul explains that your faith can definitely be without works, and it's important for it to not be without works, because if it is of works, then it is no longer faith, and if faith is of, he goes into that. I think it's in Galatians, I think. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because a lot of times Jesus will say things that are contradictory to Paul. Paul will say certain things that are contradictory to Peter. And there's a lot of opposing viewpoints even from like the New Testament. And dispensationalism is a way to consolidate all that, because it breaks things down to, you have to think about who is Paul talking to, who is Peter talking to, who is Jesus talking to. A lot of times there are Israelites, and not a lot of there's a lot of Israelite verses in the Bible that we think apply to us that they actually don't. Let's see. Faith comes first, and work comes as a demonstration of faith without works. But that's the thing. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Blackface. If you died today and you went to heaven and Jesus asked you, why are you getting here? Can you really say that your faith in Christ is what got you here? Or is it your confirmation that you're saved by the works you did after that? Because if you're going to say that, I would argue that you don't have I would argue that that's not the gospel. Your belief in the gospel is what saves you. It has nothing to do with whether or not you go to church a couple of times more than the average person, or you pray more than the average person, or you don't masturbate. I'm saved. I believe in you because let's like I said, let's use your argument. Well, I believe in you, Jesus, but I know I believe in you because I don't masturbate anymore, and I read the Bible, and I pray. But that's not going to get you in heaven. I think if you look up Lordship Salvation is a way to kind of backload works into the faith. And to me, it nullifies it. Because it puts your works at the forefront of your own salvation, which is not, I would argue that that's not the right way to look at it. The person, because let's see, when sanctified, you will naturally be more completed in works. Well, that's the thing. Paul doesn't say in Romans 8, Paul says, you're saved. When you're saved, you're sanctified, you're justified. He lays down a specific track. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's in Romans 8. So once you're saved, you cannot be unsaved. It's impossible. If you truly had a contrite spirit and a repentant heart, and you believe that Christ's finished work on the cross was meant for you personally, the sinner you are, there's no way for you to lose your salvation after that. Once you're sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise, which is God's purchased possession, God's earnest purchase. There's no way you can lose it. You can't. There's no verse about being unsealed. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least we agree on that, Mr. Blackface. This is good. James, I got qualified in an architect college. Hey, that's dope, man. You want to be an architect, huh? That's awesome, dude. That's dope. Architecture. Kind of blinked out for a second. Let me know if you guys got any other questions. I'm going to wind down. It's about 9:30 Central Time. Blackface, I tend to be doing, I've done that twice now, huh? I mistook capitalism for, or socialism for capitalism. And what was the other thing I mistook? Well, the last couple of things you said I've agreed with. Because the Romans 8:28 backs those up. Faith comes first and works comes as a demonstration of faith. Without works, your faith is clearly fruitless. That's the thing. Faith doesn't have to bear fruit. It's weird. Like, I'm not looking, like right now, I'm not looking at my life right now to know that I'm saved. The only way I know I'm saved is because of that one prayer I said when I was 25. That's the only way I know I'm saved. There's no other reason. I remember I remember the feeling I had. I remember I was like, all right, it's time to get saved. Lord, save me. Can you help me out? I believe all this stuff. Lord, can you just do it? That was it. That's how I know. That's how I know. it's not because, you know, I don't curse as much anymore, as much as I used to. It's not because I read my Bible. It's none of that. Faith, because I can't boast of any work that I did as a demonstration of my faith, because that's what Paul says. But it gets a little complicated. For the sake of this video, we're probably gonna have to wind down. But all right, guys. Well, I'm going to end up ending this session today. I may stream later on this week if I have some time. I'm going to try and get into streaming a little bit more. I definitely want to get an editor because I don't really have a lot of time anymore, given that I have my job and other hobbies. But yeah, I'm going the next couple of streams, I'll be showing you guys my new channel. All right, Regeneration versus Decisionism. Paul Washer. I'll check him out. Yeah, I know. I've watched. I know Paul Washer's theology. Relatively. Paul Washer's definitely lordship salvation, which is like if God is not Lord of your life, then you're not saved. Oh, if he doesn't say what I said, I don't know. Well, I'll check him out. So we'll reconvene on that next time. Blackface. I'll check out Regeneration versus Decisionism for sure. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good rest of your day. Try and be productive. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.